Welcome to Tea and Cheese Pairing Inspiration, part of Inspired Drink for SIAL Canada. This presentation is to demonstrate how tea can be paired with different foods for a unique foodie experience in a similar way one might experience a wine and cheese tasting. Together, this session will present a few facts about the particular teas and cheeses which are to be paired. Discussions shall include where the tea and cheese comes from, what type it is, or how or why it pairs with the particular or chosen tea. Tea remains relevant to a comforting and delicious foodie experience. Now let's meet our presenters and on to the session. Hello, I'm Gail Gastelou and I'm very pleased to be part of SIAL Canada again this year, virtually. If you're not familiar with me, I publish the Tea House Times. I've been doing this since 2003. It is my purpose and pleasure and passion to be in the tea industry and to help anyone who touches tea in any way to stay in business. And that is my drive and my purpose. So between publishing, I also do education online with teacourse.com. I have my own online trade show, teatradeshow.com, and then of course the teahousetimes.com. And these are ways that you can get in touch with me, although SIAL has definitely set up some wonderful ways for us to connect together. Now, normally I would be presenting to you some sort of a workshop through their Inspired Drink workshop area. But since we cannot do that, we will be trying to replicate some things virtually, and I think you will still enjoy it and you will learn something that will be hopefully helpful for your business and also helpful in also connecting with consumers in some new ways and just to make sure that your business stays alive. Another way to seek out my help would be through the SIAL Experts Hub. I am your tea and infused beverage expert. And it's really been great fun when we have those sit downs at the show, but we'll find ways to connect, and I encourage you to contact me through the Expert Hub because I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you have or to guide you during this time. I know it's a troubling time, but tea can be that comfort for you. It can be your comfort for your customers, and there are ways to use that, not just for profit, but for pleasure and to make sure that everyone is still happy in some way, and that's what's important. So let's get going. I hope you enjoy, and we're going to do our best, so be patient with us. Thanks very much. Enjoy SIAL. This session was originally created as a tasting workshop for SIAL Canada with the assistance of several specialized presenters. In the interest of time for this virtual session, Mr. Birendra Pereira of Mlesna Teas, who is a featured writer for the Tea House Times, specializing in Ceylon tea, will summarize the session today. We hope to have a live tasting with you again next year. Jopi, please introduce yourself and let's get started.
Hi, I'm Birendra Jopi Pereira, and I'm a tea taster and blender and the Director of Marketing at Mlesna Ceylon Limited, a Sri Lankan tea company, a second-generation family business, and basically my way of living. At Mlesna, we firmly believe that everyone out there is a tea lover. If you think you aren't, you just haven't found your cup of tea yet. Here at Mlesna, we specialize in making teas from consumer teas to bespoke blends to gift items, everything that the world of tea deserves and desires. We are proud to be associated with the Tea House Times and to be presenting at SIAL this year. So please sit back and enjoy our explanation of what marrying tea with good food is. Grab yourself a cup of tea and enjoy what is naturally the best, Mlesna Ceylon tea.
Tea and cheese pairing. Edam. Edam, if not aged, is said to be a cheese with unique yet subtle flavor. As the cheese ages, it sharpens in taste. It makes sense then to pair this cheese with a tea that is equally subtle, yet with a flavor note just as unique as the Edam cheese, which is subtle to start with and sharper at the end of its notation. The light, salty notes of Edam are accentuated when paired with the sweet yet mild notes of a pure Nuwara Eliya region tea. Nuwara Eliya. A fragrant, mild, aromatic tea with a very light cup, a tranquil drink for the connoisseur and a soothing cup. With growing altitudes varying from 6,000 to 7,500 feet above sea level, this region produces flavorful, bright teas throughout the year. However, the better seasonal hints of quality are found in the first quarter of the year, from January to April, where the western winds and monsoons help produce better teas. The high altitude and special growing conditions of the geographic positioning in Nuwara Eliya allow these teas to be naturally lower in caffeine. Tea and cheese pairing. Gouda. Gouda is a sweeter note cheese and tends to be more pronounced in taste as it ages with the addition of developing cheese crystals, which gives it a slight crunch and a sweeter edge to its taste. To complement the deeper taste profile of this regionally named cheese, we selected the Ruhuna region of Sri Lankan teas to provide a sweet note cup, which is deep in color when brewed, but can be enjoyed as a tea on its own with no additions of milk or sweetener. It is ideally paired with a smoked Gouda cheese, as it helps to alleviate the taste of the cheese and creates a satisfying end to the marriage of taste of the cheese and the tea. Ruhuna. Ruhuna teas grow at low altitudes beginning at sea level, going up to 2,000 feet above sea level, yielding very strong, colory teas. This strong tea is enjoyed with and without milk. Add honey or sweetening if desired. The robustness of the leaf from which this tea is produced comes from the nature and surroundings of the lower altitudes of growing and the higher levels of humidity and moisture when the leaf is young and tender, thus retaining more moisture in the leaf and trapping the bolder and sweeter nature of the soil in its veins when produced into a fine black tea. Tea and cheese pairing. White cheddar. White cheddar cheese has a reputation of being slightly on the salty end of the taste palate, and hence it blends well in flavor with other variants of food and drink. Being of British heritage, it is no surprise that it marries well with a Dimbula region tea. Dimbula is a region known for full-bodied, flavorful cups of tea, which are equally pleasant drunk straight or with milk if desired. It would come as no surprise that teas from this region are very popular amongst the British palate of tea drinking. The robust flavor and fragrant nature of the Dimbula teas tends to blend well with the creamy yet crumbly but relatively smooth flavor of a good cheddar cheese. Dimbula. Cultivated at heights in excess of 5,900 feet above sea level, the Dimbula region produces rosy, bright, flavory teas from the cream of Ceylon's tea gardens. An ideal cup with or without milk. The cool, dry western winds help this region to produce very bright teas with a coppery hue, and the quality season can last from September through March and April.
Thank you for attending Tea and Cheese Pairing Inspiration as part of Inspire Drink for SIAL Canada. And special thanks to Melesna Teas for stepping in to help us to bring this to life virtually. It was a team effort when we did it in person with several different people, but to bring it to life virtually is another story altogether. If you're unable to get the cheeses that we've discussed today, look for some similar cheeses in your supermarket or your supplier and create a tea and cheese pairing for your customers. Try some different types of Ceylon tea that we discussed here. And if you need more information, please seek me out in the expert hub as part of SIAL Canada. And my name is Gail Gastelou. And SIAL has assigned me as your tea and infused beverage expert. You can also find me at the Inspire Drink booth as part of the virtual exhibits. Thanks very much for attending and have a great afternoon.